Good afternoon, everybody. Shane McCusker here, Intelligent Software. Welcome to another Thursday webinar. Today we're talking about tools and techniques for recruiters. Mainly tools. We'll do some techniques as we go through it all. And we'll see how we get on. Okay, introductions first of all for anybody who doesn't know me. My name is Shane McCusker. I run a company called Intelligent Software. I develop software for recruitment agencies to help them make more placements, about managing candidates, managing clients, applicant tracking, contact management. Really, it's about information management is what I like to call it. It's about trying to spot opportunities to make more placements. Ultimately, that's what my career has been about, trying to help recruiters recruit in more effective ways, more efficiently, to make more placements, make more money, which is hopefully what we're all interested in doing. As well as intelligence, I'm also quite actively involved in social media. I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. I set up and run the South African Recruiters Group on LinkedIn, which has been going for about a year or so now. It's quite active. I've just started another group called South African Jobs, and I'll explain a little bit about the concept of that in a moment or two, which is quite exciting. I have a blog page, intel-sw.com/blog, which is where I stick stuff like this, recordings of our webinars and promote our webinars. I've also been involved with Bill Borman and his Recruitment Unconference series. I with True SA last year. Hopefully we'll run that again this year. So I've been asked kindly by Johnny Campbell to speak at or track lead at True Dublin next month. So if you're in Dublin in May, do check out True Dublin. And hopefully I'll be showing my face at other True events around the world. My website's intel-sw.com. My Twitter handle is intelligence spelt with a 1. So we come alphabetically before anybody else, I suppose, which is, you can follow me on Twitter. Please do follow me on Twitter. Please connect with me on LinkedIn. Promote what we do in these series if you think they're useful. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm going to say first of all. Today's subject, I'll go to this and show you the thing, information management, internal and external. I'm going to get on to how we define a cool tool and a technique and what I'm trying to get to. But first of all, I'm going to talk a little bit about South African Jobs group that I've just set up, because I'm getting quite excited about this. This was a little bit of well, I started it up more as a repository for people that couldn't join the South African Recruiters Group. 80% of the people that applied weren't recruiters, so we just rejected them. And then I thought, they're all job seekers. We should do something for them. But then in combination with some of the changes that have happened in the job board industry recently in South Africa, there seemed to be a bit of a negative reaction to job boards, and the recruiters are spending a lot of money to a job board to advertise their jobs and search their databases. And that's really all the job boards are doing for those people. And given that a lot of recruiters are quite generalist, and LinkedIn is maybe an order of magnitude bigger than some of the job boards that are there, you can search LinkedIn for free. The only problem with LinkedIn is that you can't connect with people unless you're a first degree connection or a group connection, and there were no big groups that we found that were South African oriented. So what I did was I found myself in a unique situation of being able to create a big group with recruiters and encourage recruiters to join. And I'm a fairly neutral party in the sense in that I don't have a lot of benefit of starting this group. But what it'll do is, if we build a big group for job seekers and recruiters in South Africa, then any recruiter can search LinkedIn for free. Any recruiter can connect to people that are in the group for free. LinkedIn has better SEO. Search engines like LinkedIn better than they like any job board, because it's just a bigger site. So when you post a job on this group, which you can do for free, then the search engines are going to find it very quickly. And there's no downside to this really. It's a way of us as an industry creating a communal group of people, an open group of people that we can connect and communicate to. So why pay job boards? I'm not too sure what the argument is that they would put up against it. What I'm encouraging people to do is, first of all, join the group. If you're interested in recruitment in South Africa, please join the group. Sorry, my email's flagging up here for for a good reason. I shall explain in a minute. If you're in South Africa and interested in recruitment, please join the group. But I'd also really encourage you to do is please invite people to join the group. Please promote the group to your candidate base. Now, you might think to yourself, well, hold on, these are all my candidates. I don't want to encourage them to meet other recruiters. I think you do, because of the fact that if you engage with your candidate pool, they will respect you for it, and they will want to engage with you. And given that whenever you put a job up on a job board, that if somebody applies, that the job board will then sell that person on to anybody that they can. There doesn't seem to be any downside on this, so we'd really encourage you to do that. I've got some of our clients have been very supportive of this project and want to promote it, and they'll be sending emails out to their candidates just with the link to the job board, just with this link, linkedin-sw.com/groups, !GID equals. Send that out, say this is a job board, it's free to everybody, please join it, your jobs are going to be there. So support it by putting your jobs up, support it by promoting it, and it'll be a really good thing for the whole industry. Apologies to anybody who's listening to this who's in South Africa. Maybe we'll get on and do something similar in other markets. Why not? I mean, let's use these social connections to build big networks for everybody's benefit. There's no specific benefit to me as a manager for group. You don't really get anything useful or any access to the group other than that you would do as a member, particularly certainly this group, which is very open. So go for it. See how you get on. Okay, now back to the main topic of today. I set myself this task of trying to find cool tools and tech recruiters, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's a bit of a challenge, because it's quite difficult to find ways to improve recruitment. I know I've been doing it for the bulk of my career, and when you're looking for a cool technique, also a cool technique that I can demonstrate within the confines of a 30-minute webinar and move on quite quickly so you get an understanding of it. There's not that much stuff out there. There's lots and lots of tools that don't seem to do anything that really flick the my switch, as it were. They store information. They remember stuff for you that you don't have to. They collaboration tools. Google Docs is lovely, I love it, but I mean, I'm not entirely sure if it does anything for you that you can't already do for yourself. It might make it a little bit easier, but I don't know if that qualifies it as a cool tool. So what I've really focused on is some of the stuff that I get very excited about with regards to information management, which is ultimately my main interest in the recruitment industry, because that's what we do. And this is something I've been banging a drum about for quite some time, is that it used to be there was a real differentiator between internal information and external information. It used to be that your database as a recruiter was your possession and had value in it simply because the fact that you had a database, and the bigger the database you had, the more valuable it was. Nowadays, that is not the case, because nobody has a database as big as LinkedIn, nobody has a database as big as Facebook, nobody has a database as big as Twitter. The databases, the information is freely available to everybody. But what differentiates you as a clever recruiter is your ability to manipulate it and extract value from that data. And that's what I'm actually interested in. It's a cool tool for me. It's something that enables you to get more value from what is already available to you. And one of the areas that I'm getting most excited about is this combining of information together, cross-referencing information together, and getting more value from it. And where I see it as being most interesting is where we're combining internal with external information, something that you know, combining it with external information and seeing if you can spot opportunities there. And spotting opportunities is, it's a simple thing to say, but it's actually quite difficult to do in practice. And not even to spot opportunities, but to do it automatically, or a new adjective I learned yesterday going through all these tools is automagically. Yeah. American websites, Steve, you want to use that word all the time? You heard it here first if you're in the US. Automatically produce these opportunities from the information that's there. So today's day about cool tools was also about this internal, external information, about trying to get more value from information. Okay, now starting off, my first cool tool, I'm going to talk about, this is why my email was firing up there, by the way. This is Outlook. I use 2003 Outlook because we need to be forward compatible with all our customers. But you'll notice on the right-hand side here, I've got a product called Xodni, Xodni. Complicated name until you realize it's actually inbox spelled backwards. This is a product that's been out for a while now. I think 2008 it came out. I've been using it. There are other products that I'll mention on passing that do similar things. I was looking at Rapportive and Contactually. Rapportive is spelled R-A-P-P-O-R-T-I-V-E, Contactually, C-O-N-T-A-C-T-U-A-L-L-Y. I'll try and put links up on the website. Do similar things, but this one works with Outlook and I quite like it. What it does, as soon as you get an email in, So here's one from my former colleague, Via Strauss, and he was just emailing me about venues. But what happens on Zobni, it gives me a whole pile of information from external sources about the API. First of all, it gives me a couple of email addresses from him, which it's pulling from this email and from other emails I get from him. It gives me his telephone numbers, mobile and landline. It allows me to call through Skype. It gives me some stats about him in terms of my relationships with him and how I'm emailing him. And it also gives me previous emails and conversations. It allows me to search this information. It allows me to see attachments that we've sent between each other. So really it's about trying to pull information together. That's internal information that's reprocessing and given back to me in an easy way to use it. Externally, however, look at all this. Twitter. It links into his Twitter profile. It'll try and find his Twitter address, or it'll allow you to tell it to you, and it'll give me his Twitter stream. It allows me to follow him, unfollow him, message him straight from Outlook. So it's a Twitter connector. Facebook. I'm not linked into VP on Facebook, but if I was, it would give me his Facebook feed. It would put in photographs. It would do whatever you want to do with it. It's actually a little bit upsetting sometimes whenever you're dealing with business people and you get this beach photograph comes up on Zobni because of the fact it's putting the photograph on Facebook. Just be careful of that. All your social media profiles are now interchangeable and linking together, so just be aware. My favorite one, of course, because I'm a bit of a LinkedIn fan, is that it gives you his LinkedIn contact details. Now, VP is somebody I email a lot, so Zobni has the opportunity to get lots of information about it, but I've also emailed here from Mike Evans from UK Recruiter. He sent this email to me yesterday. And because I don't really know Mike that well, I'm not connected to him. He tells me he's a second-degree connection. I can just press add and invite him to connect with me. Put a caveat on that later on, but the LinkedIn API, it always sends out a friend request, so it may be more appropriate to look straight through LinkedIn, but it's a quick way to connect to somebody on LinkedIn, and if you know him, because you're exchanging emails, then he's not going to reject you simply because of the fact you call him a friend rather than a business partner. But it's a great way to link this thing of internal with external information, to combine the two together, make it easy and obvious to you so you can spot an opportunity to do something with that information. And that's sort of the thing that gets me excited, and that's what I think is quite cool. Okay, now, it's not just Zobni does this. There's a whole lot of other things do this. Where am I now? Sorry, big pardon. I'm going to go through it. That's Zobni's website if you want to check it out, www.zobni.com. Now, let me show you this. This is a thing. This is LinkedIn, obviously, and I'm just going to go to somebody's profile. Sorry, I'm randomly going to pick somebody here because of the fact that they come up on my link. And you might think that LinkedIn is just about showing somebody's profile to you. There's no crossover between internal and external information. Aha, but you'd be wrong, because there is. This is Ray's profile, and Ray is a first-degree connection to me. And you'll notice that in the contact information section, this has been around for a while, you can tag people. So I can tag him as a friend. Save that. I can create other tags. These are my tags. So this is a way for me to say, right, this is how I'm going to classify this person and how I'm going to categorize them. Now, unfortunately, I don't think it's that cool because tagging doesn't really allow you to do much else. You can go to his profile and see that he's been tagged in a particular way. If you go to your connections, you can search and see people that are tagged in a particular way, but that's the only way you can search tags. So it'd be nicer if you could search tags in LinkedIn search. It would be nicer if you could do something other than simply stamp this person is tagged in a particular way. The bit that I get a bit more interested in, however, is this view edit contact information. Whenever you press that, you're going to get all the stuff they've put up about themselves. So there's Ray's email address, his telephone number, on his address. But I can also, create contact notes. Typing out thoughts. And you can save that. And this is your note against this person. So here we see LinkedIn doing this combination between public information, or at least Ray's information, and private information, my thoughts on Ray, what I want to record about it. I'm not entirely convinced it's that useful, but I wanted to demonstrate it as LinkedIn trying to reach across this divide of internal and external information just to see where it goes to with it. How useful it is, I don't know, But you can see that now my thoughts on Ray now appear on Ray's profile when I go and see it. It's not public, nobody else sees it, it's just me. Okay, bringing this on. Now, normally you'll understand that normally I do not go trying to hard sell our products. If you want to buy our products, go and have a look at our website, give me a call. However, I think it's very relevant that I show some of the features that I've been working on in Intelligence to also emphasize this opportunities created by cross-referencing information and some brand new stuff that I'm working on right now. This is a beta version of Intelligence that isn't quite out yet, and I'm going to show you some of the cross-referencing with internal and external. First of all, let me explain. Intelligence is a management information system for recruiters. It allows you to store information about your candidates, store information about your clients, store information about your vacancies, but more importantly, it allows you to operate a workflow that enables you to work more effectively as a recruiter and make more placements as a recruiter. And although it's hard to quantify this because everybody's different, it should make you an extra 2-3 placements per consultant per year, which I don't know what that is in pounds sterling, £15,000 per recruiter per year for the price of a cup of coffee a day. Okay, that's the sales pitch. Now, this is how it works. This is a candidate screen. So we've got the candidate's name and all their contact details. But in the profile section, what we're trying to do is say, it's not enough just to say he works for these companies, Intelligence Software, IBM, ABC. I want to know more about it. And what we're doing is we're highlighting any employer who doesn't appear in your client database. So if I double-click IBM, it brings me to the client screen for IBM on Intelligence. Eventually, come on, computer. So there we go. Intelligence Software is highlighted because it's not a client that this person relates to. Okay, so what we're trying to do is say it's not enough to store information. I want a software system, a cool tool to be able to flag up there's an opportunity here to do something. If he works for a company I don't know, maybe I should know that company. If he's about to leave that company, then there's potential vacancy there. Similarly, if you look at the short list for this company, these are all the jobs that I've associated with him with. I've tagged him on a few. He's been rejected on a few. Contacted, interested, CV sent, interview, offer, and accepted. This is the applicant tracking process. But it's highlighting, that this candidate has gone for interviews with some of these companies. That the company name that you're associating with there is mentioned on his CV. So it's trying to highlight, look at other information associated with this person and say, is there an opportunity here? So we're saying we can do more than simply record and regurgitate information when you go asking for it. We can give you information at your fingertips in a way that's really useful to you and is useful based on what process you're looking at now. But what I'm actually getting, some of the other stuff looking at is that whenever you look at a company, IBM, it also cross-references in all the people that you know that work there, all their candidates who work there, all the references who work there, all the other information that works there. And that's really, really useful to you because, in fact, if you want to do business development with a company, you can see the types of jobs that they have already, the type of people you know that work there. But this is where it gets more interesting because if I press my browser button, this is new. Intelligence, it opens up, well, newish, it opens up a browser and tells me all my external people that work there. So I can say link Intelligence internal information to my LinkedIn profile, which is external, and tell me people that I know that work there. I can go and look at IBM's homepage that works there, IBM's page. I can go and do searches, so I can link into our LinkedIn search facility. This is a Google search that I wrote, which enables me to go and find people on LinkedIn, external information. Whenever you do find people, so if I go back to candidate for Shane McCaskill here, whenever I'm looking at a candidate profile, it automatically pulls up their LinkedIn profile. I can import that candidate profile in. I can update my internal information based on external information. So I'm getting more advanced to that. I'm going to add more stuff in here looking at Twitter feeds and other things a little bit like Zubney does. As I say, this is a beta version. Whenever you go to a candidate who you maybe don't have a LinkedIn profile for, it does a search of LinkedIn to say, well, you help us identify which Mary Johnson is it that appears on LinkedIn. So you can combine internal with external information. If you wanted to do a search, say for example, I'm searching for engineers. Do a search of LinkedIn for engineer. Choose an engineer rather than engineers, but no matter. Then it's going to do a search of that. If I say, right, okay, I like one of these people, I can go to Veronica's profile here and just import it. click on the import button. Again, we're cross-referencing external to internal information, automatically pulls in her profile. If I go back to the search, say for example I do a search on LinkedIn, now this is unique to us, I haven't found anyone else that can do this. Well, blow my own trumpet here a little bit. Come on, go to our search. No, please go back to the search. I'll just go back to the search this way. Okay, so I'm doing a search. If I want to mail those people, I just press the mail button. What it's doing now, let me open this up for you, is that it creates goes to a LinkedIn message, and it puts in all the details of LinkedIn search. So straight from a LinkedIn search, I can do a bulk mailing to all the search results. Now you can't do that through LinkedIn, but this tool enables you to do it. So these are some of the stuff that I'm working on. I think it's quite cool. It does this cross-reference of internal, external information. It tries to spot opportunities, and it tries to give more value. So it means that not only does it enable you to collate all this different information together in one space, enabling you to see it and use it more effectively, but it actually goes in and tries to give you more value than you would otherwise know. Now, the good news is that even if you don't want to buy intelligence, which shame on you for not doing it, I would expect all of you to be thinking about it at any rate, because this is what I slave night and day to try and perfect ways of doing these things. Some of these tools are available to you for free because we give them away. If you go to intel-sw.com/search, you'll see I've got my Boolean search there. You are my LinkedIn custom search there, which is free to use. Anybody can use that. It searches LinkedIn. Just put in your keywords. It'll get you LinkedIn profiles. Much better than doing a LinkedIn search in the sense that you get a bigger result set for free, and you're using Google search techniques, which means that it's not just giving you people that you're connected to, so it's quite useful to find people you don't know. And you've also got our Company Insider. This is a Company Insider which allows you to search based on a company name. LinkedIn have since changed this, so if you go and look at a Company Insider, their Company Insider now looks a bit better than this one, and it's nicer, but it's not as functional because it doesn't allow you to actually search for a company name, so it doesn't give you as good results as this one. So have a look at sw.com/search, and you can use some of these tools for free. Not quite as automatic as it would otherwise be. Okay. What else have I got for you? Yes, this is another product which again is in beta. This is a product called Pleek, and I quite like it with a few caveats. What it allows you to do is you go onto just pleek.com. At this moment in time, it's free. You connect in your LinkedIn profile, and then you can use it to search LinkedIn. So if I go looking for a recruiter, I might look for a recruiter in Ireland, run my search. What it's going to do is it's going to give me, hopefully this will work okay. I was doing a webinar earlier on today and it was a little bit slow, but let's give it a go. It gives me my results for recruiters in Ireland. More or less, there's one that's in Fort Worth. Dallas, I'm not too sure. Hold on, why are these all in the US? Okay, no matter. we'll work on. What you can then do is you can either drag and drop people over to your shopping cart, or you can tag a few of them once you find your results that you like and pull them all over. Cool. And this enables you to build up a result set that you get quite interested in. At this moment in time, you might want to engage these people and send them a message. Once you do this, Pleek allows you to, it gives you a range of standard templates, both in English and in French, because it's a French company, or you can create your own template. Once you do that, you drag and drop a template up to your section at the top. Come on, do your thing. This is the bit that was sort of earlier on today. There we go. It enables you to create a campaign name. Just choose the default name, that's all right. And once this happens, it goes and looks at the list. It says, right, who of these people am I connected to? And you can send a message to that. Anybody I'm not connected to, it allows me to send a message, but it sends it out as an invitation request. And this is probably where I get a bit nervous, and I'll tell you why in a second, but it enables you to modify your message. This is different to a normal LinkedIn invitation request because it's longer, for starters, I can put a bigger message in, and it also allows me to put links in there. I'm not entirely sure how they've managed to do this, but this is what they're doing. I'm not going to send this because I don't want to for a reason I'll tell you now. Once you do that and send messages, you can track the response you get. Really simple. So I sent out 30 messages yesterday. They're actually invitation requests. And sadly, I've only got 2 people responded, but I can see who those 2 people are. I can see who hasn't. And, obviously, if you're working through this, if you're sending announcements out, you can see what sort of templates work well, what messages work well, and it allows you to manage and communicate. I think it's a really simple tool. I think it works quite well for what it does. It's still in beta, so they've still got some work to do to improve various aspects of it, no doubt develop it on from that. The caveat I'll put on it, however, is this. It's very dangerous on LinkedIn to send out invitations to people you don't know. The reason it's very dangerous is because if you do it too often and the people you send it to say, I don't know this person, then LinkedIn will send you a warning saying, please don't do this, sign up to our terms and conditions again. If you continue to do it, and I've had a warning and I'm continuing to do it, so this is my big problem, LinkedIn will stop you sending out invitation requests to people unless you know their email address. And that is very, very limiting for LinkedIn. If you want to use LinkedIn and build up connections. Once you get a warning, get very, very careful about it. In fact, be very, very careful about sending invitation requests. The other problem you'll have with Pleek is they use the LinkedIn API, and the LinkedIn API, whenever it sends out an invitation request, always puts down that they're a friend. It doesn't say we're in the same group together or that you've done business together. And again, it's another reason that a lot of people don't like sending invitations to the LinkedIn API is because of the fact that people will tend to reject you if you claim to be a friend of somebody that you're obviously not a friend of. So there is a risk to using this type of product now. Just be a little bit wary and a little bit careful of it. Okay, coming tight on time, so I'll move on. I just found this. I was doing so much research about cool tools, and this doesn't meet my criteria of a cool tool, but it amused me, so I'm going to tell you about it. It's a product called Rescue Time. Go to www.rescuetime.com. It's a little application that runs on your computer, and what it does is it just watches what you do. So you can use it individually, or you can use it for a group. You can roll it out for your company. And if you're on the internet, it monitors what websites you're on. If you're using intelligence, it monitors that you're using intelligence. It monitors what applications you're using. And it knows that some of these things are going to be work-related. And some of these things are going to be, if it sees you on Facebook, it knows that this is non-work related stuff. If you go away from your computer and stop working, it knows that too. And whenever you come back to your computer, it says, what were you doing? Were you doing something else? You categorize that. And it means that over a day or whatever period of time, you get a result set saying this is how productive you are, this is when you're most productive, this is when you're least productive, this is when you're taking time away from the desk. And according to their website, they're saying they're able to give you an extra 3 or 4 or 5 hours productivity time per week because it allows you to analyze what you're good at, what you're doing. It allows, I suppose, for a group, it allows your managers to check up on you and see what you're doing if you're actually being as productive as you say you are. So have a look at it. I thought it was a bit of fun. I switched it on yesterday, and every 5 minutes it was coming up asking me what I was doing. You can change your settings and adjust things. It amused me, so see how you get on with it. Finally, only 2 minutes left on this. I'm going to talk about, I mentioned this before, but I just want to mention it again because they change things. This is Outwit. Outwit is a wonderful product. They've got a couple of products. This is Outwit Hub. They've got Outwit Docs and a few others. I've shown it before as a Firefox add-in, but the problem with Firefox, and it is a problem, Firefox keep updating their browser, and every time they update their browser, all your add-ins stop working until the add-in people can update themselves. Because Outwit Lite is now available as a standalone product on a Windows computer and also on a Mac, it means you can use it without having to worry about it. And what it does is this. It allows you to browse for a page. I have browsed for, this is the members list of the South African Jobs Group, and it allows you to write a scraper. And a scraper basically means is that I want to pull in stuff, that what I want to get out of it, and this is a little scraper that I wrote. And when I execute that, what it does for me is pulls in all the information from that page. So here we have a list of all the names of the people that have joined, that are on that page, members for the South African Jobs Group. It gives their job title and gives me an ID. So with the ID and combine that with a link, and I could message those people. What I'm doing, I've offered this and hopefully I'll be able to get it to work. I'm going to use Outwit Hub to do it. Anybody who promotes the South African Jobs Group and sends out bulk emails to all your candidates, I'm going to put together a list of all the members of the group in an Excel spreadsheet with their name, their ID, and a link to message them, and I'm just going to give that out to anybody who's helping me promote the group. So please promote the group. I'm going to use Outwit to scrape the membership and be able to send you a link out to that. But Outwit is just a wonderfully useful tool to pull information straight from websites. You can select a record, select them all, export this to export selection L. So it's just an interesting way to be able to create information and pull it together. Okay, that's enough for today. Hopefully you found this useful. The webinar is in 2 weeks' time. Not too sure what I'm going to be talking about there. If you've got any suggestions for that, please let me know. Thanks very much for your time.